the newest college recruiting fab, maybe not the newest, but one that has certainly been circulating, not what you think, boat rides. And if you saw our post here, I'll pull it up, but that's something that we've talked a little bit about, is a tool being used for recruiting. This is the article that we tweeted. Shout out Football Scoop for this article. And this is all about University of Wisconsin Oshkosh, a Division III team in the WIAC in Wisconsin. Very good Division III team, if I will say. That's probably the best conference in the country. But what they're doing with these athletes, they don't have a full-time photo studio or media directors and all the flashy lights and things for a photo shoot. But what are they trying to do to cultivate the experience for these athletes, right? You think about most Division III guys probably not going to have the most flashy visits, but this is something that's unique, and I think could come off as corny. I love it. I think it's unique. I think it separates them from the pack, and it's certainly been getting them a lot of pubs, so it's definitely working. So this is their head coach, and you'll see they're out in the water. That's Lake Winnebago, which is the biggest lake in Wisconsin, I believe, and they're taking these guys out on a pontoon boat. This isn't some yacht, no luxury cruise line. It is a pontoon, and it's just absolutely hilarious to me. Here's a couple shots we can take a look at, and they take these guys out. They do a photo shoot out on the water. They got the uniform, the helmet on. I think their little prop of choice is the sledgehammer. So we'll go through a couple of these shots here. Like I said, might come off as a little bit corny. I think it's awesome, and I think it's a way of, like, imagine going on your recruiting visit. You get to kick it on a pontoon boat with your head coach and all the guys that are going to be coaching you. How much more genuine and real does it get than that? That, in my opinion, I love it. I think it's hilarious. And these guys look comfortable. They look like they're having a good time. This might just be all coaches. I'm not sure if Buddy on the left here has got a brewski in his hand or if that's a Diet Coke. We're going to err on the side of Diet Coke. But, by the way, pontoon is ripping right there. Pontoon is not, this is not a no-wake zone. This guy is flying. But here's, like, kind of, the shots. Again, the pictures are nothing crazy, but that's not what this experience is about. Like, these pictures, it's not about getting some professional pictures. It's about these kids having a good time, enjoying their visit. And again, I've said it on our Instagram post when I posted this, I am not turning down a free boat ride. Like, especially a pontoon. Come on. Midwest summer on a pontoon boat, like, it really doesn't get a whole lot better than that, in my opinion. So that's kind of my piece on that. So I didn't want to spend too much time on that because I did already bring some attention to it on our socials, but I thought I would bring that up to you guys. Some stats on the WIAC. They saw 75% of their teams finish the 2022 season 500 or better. Their top two teams made the NCAA Division III playoffs. Peter Jennings is the head coach. Allergies are sneaking up on me. They cracked the top 25 this year, the Titans, and just missed out on playoff contention by 2 games. But, he says here, quote, as everybody does, we're trying to find a leg up in recruiting. It's leveling the playing field. Our league, the WIAC, there's never been as much parity as there is now. We're just trying to sort out how we can maybe get ahead of some of these other programs, not just the best of the best, but also upcoming programs. How do we get back to the top? That comes back to recruiting. He talked a lot about, like I said, this is just a unique experience for these kids. It's something they're probably not going to forget, and I'm here for it. But on the other side of things, I wanted to look at what are big schools doing with these boat rides, right? Like, what is Tennessee doing with that same idea with perhaps just a little bit more funding, a little bit more in the budget? The answer is right here. This is a little bit different than the pontoon boat, and this is what the Tennessee recruits are going out on. And, this video should kind of do it justice here because this thing is absurd. The video is a little bit much, but you can tell, like I said, this guy kind of blows it out of the water here a little bit, and I want to pause on that frame. This is the Volunteer Princess. You can see it in the top left there of the video. Volunteer obviously being associated with Tennessee, with UT. And, look at this guy. This is a double-decker. This is like a premium yacht-looking thing. You've got a dining room inside. You've got all these, like, private rooms. And just overall, sick ride. Right down the river, right at sunset. And this is what the athletes at UT on their official are getting into, man. Now imagine, the one thing UW Oshkosh has on these guys, that is a pretty frame right there. That is beautiful. Oh my gosh. But I don't think they're getting photo shoots on the boat. They probably get the crazy photo shoots back on campus, though. We can fast forward here through this. But there is the look at like a little bit of the dining room inside. I know this is usually used for big business parties and things of that nature, social events. And then out of nowhere, the Tennessee football team will just go ahead and rent the whole thing out. I think there is a little clip of the upper deck here that I wanted to show. Yeah, check that out. Little bar area on the upper deck. Absolutely, bud. Enough of your chit-chat. Let's see it. There it is. Again, probably not cracking open a couple cold ones on the official recruiting visit. Maybe they are. NIL is a crazy thing. I doubt it. But pretty sweet nonetheless for Tennessee to be doing all of this. I think it's pretty badass. But I can read a little bit more kind of about the situation here. The Volunteer Princess is a luxury yacht that usually, like I said, hosts dinner cruises on the Tennessee River. On game weekends, the previous staff would close recruits' visits with a Sunday afternoon ride. And, oh my gosh, so sweet. They've got multiple screens with gaming consoles to face off against each other in Madden. On the boat. Jump onto the boat and load up your franchise team. That is hilarious. Really funny, too. I guess this is an opener on their visit, it sounds like. So as soon as you get to campus, obviously you have you meet up with the coaches and everything. But then all the guys who are on that official and their families, they all, meander out into the boat. Gives them a little bit of a chance to socialize. Sure, there's food and drinks out there. So sweet, man. I could not imagine getting taken out on a yacht. And then what's the first quote from one of these kids? I'd like to go jet skiing on the river. Shut the hell up. You are on a yacht. You don't need to go jet ski. This is not enough for you? That's ridiculous. But that's what Tennessee does. There is another school that I wanted to really highlight, actually, that does incorporate the boating element a lot into their fandom. That is the Sailgators over at Baylor. Take a look at this video before, just a couple shots of campus here. We'll get to the meat of it in just a second, and you are going to understand what I mean when I say Sailgate. There's their stadium, first of all. Awesome stadium. You can see the tailgaters, the left side of the stadium there, and there's almost this U-shaped river that wraps around it with a big old bridge right into the heart of the stadium. I'd actually not seen this before today. I don't know why. I just never really looked into Baylor Stadium. Crucify me. I don't know what to tell you. But pretty sweet setup, pretty badass setup. And you'll see right there, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. There's this long bridge that kind of just goes over this river almost right to the heart of the stadium, and that side of the stadium is opened up so the people walking over can see directly into the stadium. They're not blocked with probably, that's got to be one of the biggest video boards in sports. Good Lord. But you can see the boats right there kind of coming around, and so they call it seagating or something along the sailgating. Sorry, not seagating. I blanked on it. The sailgating as opposed to tailgating. I'm a dumbass. I don't know why I said seagating. But there you go. You got all these boats just anchored up right there next to the lawn. And then there's a couple different marinas where these guys all hang out. That is a crowd on the top there. This is not a rendering, I promise. This is real. Baylor is about it. There's the overhead shot. Oh my gosh. But just an element of college football I honestly had never really explored before. This is like the Marlins games where they have those kayakers and stuff outside the fence, outside the stadium. So when you hit a home run, they go and pick up the ball out of the water. I don't know if they're scooping any punts out of whatever river this is. A couple speed boats out there. People out there just watching all the boats. But this is electric. This scene is so sweet. Imagine this, man. This is pretty good. But I will say, back on the note of the Tennessee piece, that was the river. The Tennessee River is the one that Pat McAfee jumped to. I'm sure a lot of you remember that one on College Game Day, that he jumped right into the Tennessee River, which was pretty sick. But, I mean, imagine this. You get out there a couple hours before kickoff, crack open a couple drinks out on the boat. These guys are probably freaking rowdy. And by rowdy, I mean just sloshed, hammered, drunk before they even step foot into the stadium. But yeah, I mean, just a really sick, unique setup from Baylor. So kudos to Baylor. I think they're doing it right. We need more stadiums on the water. That is so unique. And like I said, it's something I had never really realized that we even had in college football. Definitely on the lookout now, though. That's pretty cool stuff.